Hey, I'm just going to try and do a really quick little pre-Shavuos thought. So you'll have something to work with when you're making your cheesecakes and you're cooking your lasagnas and so on. I know it's not all about the food, and I was just learning with my friend, and she's like, they told me that it's not all about the cheesecake. And so I've just been learning and learning. And so far, I haven't made one single thing for all these meals that are coming up. And we're not going to have any food to eat. So I think I better get cooking. So yeah, it's not about the food. But if we don't make the food, who is going to actually make it for you? So we do need to eat at some point. But I have been busy cooking a lot and baking a lot. And you know what? I guess it's a balance. We have to do both. That's us women. We have to multitask. We have to do everything. We are super women. Yes. Okay, so Shavuos. And really, we have to remember, and we've been talking a lot about Shavuos. We've really been talking about the process, the Sfirat HaOmer leading up to Shavuos. But the actual day of Shavuos, we didn't really speak about so much. And I just wanted to give a quick, inspiring idea. First of all, we have to realize that in Judaism, it's not a commemorating holiday. Like, we don't have holidays that are in commemoration of some event that happened. We are actually going through the same event over and over and over at that time. It's like the event happened at that time because it's the time that brings a specific energy into the world that enables the event to happen. Do you know what I mean? Like if we left Egypt on Pesach, it's because Pesach is a time of freedom. So that's why we left Egypt on Pesach, because that is the time where every single year we go into that same freedom mode again and again. So the same with Shavuot. What happened is that we got the Torah, but what really happened, it's very interesting because on the day of the actual Shavuot, that where Hashem actually gave us the Torah, it wasn't even on the 6th of Sivan. When we celebrate Shavuot every year, it's actually on the 6th of Sivan, which means that is the day for receiving the Torah. And yet, on the day itself, when we received the Torah 3,300 years ago, it was actually on Shabbat, which means that Moshe Rabbeinu decided, you know what, the Jewish people aren't ready yet to receive the Torah. We need another day, and I'd prefer if it were on Shabbat, because when the actual giving of the Torah has to happen, we need all these holy energies, like all this help from different aspects. Like we need the Shabbat energy, we need the holiness of the place that we're at, we need to be at this specific place, we need the preparation of the people, we need everyone to be unified. So less important than that, than that the Jewish people were going to receive the Torah on the 6th of Sivan. It was more important to Moshe that they had a chance to prepare for the day itself. So anyway, my point is that we're not commemorating that day, because if we were commemorating that day, then we should also celebrate it on Shabbat on the 7th of Sivan. But instead, we're celebrating it on the 6th of Sivan. And just by the way, my friends weren't aware of this midrash, so I just wanted to make sure everybody does know it. When in the creation of the world, really, the whole on the 6th day, it says, Vayhi erev, Vayhi boker, Yom Hashishi. We know that we say that at the beginning of Kiddush. Every Shabbat, we say, Vayhi erev, Vayhi boker, Yom Hashishi. Hashishi, the 6th day. Not Yom Shishi, or Yom Chamishi, or Yom Revi'i. It's always 4th day, 5th day. So why the 6th day? Why that big hay? So it's a pretty famous midrash that says that the whole entire world was sort of holding its breath, like it wasn't quite permanent yet until the Jewish people received the Torah. It's like the world was a little bit like rotet. It says, like in the midrash, in the Gemara, it says the whole world was sort of shaky. Like those cheesecakes that you're supposed to make where it's not fully baked. It's kind of like shaking in the middle. So it wasn't fully baked. The entire world wasn't fully baked. And it was shaking until Yom HaShishi, that Hashem kind of created this condition in the world that if the Jewish people receive the Torah, great, then the whole world will continue to exist. But otherwise, I'm just returning the world to chaos, to tohu vavohu. says Hashem. So he put that condition into creation. So there was Yom HaShishi. The sixth day is extremely, extremely important. It's talking about the sixth day of Sivan, which is Shavuot. Meaning, the entire purpose of creation is reaching its completion, its fruition on this day. So we are coming up to the entire purpose of creation. The entire purpose of creation is Matan Torah, is Hashem connecting with us like a wedding. Like a wedding. This is our wedding day. It's like where Hashem is signing a contract and we are committing and signing on that contract as well, accepting this contract and saying Na'aseh v'nishma. We are in. We are completely committed to this relationship. And that's what the world is all about. So it's such an incredible, incredible energy and potential that is available to us on this day, which is why we stay up all night long learning Torah, because we're preparing for this marriage. It's like we stay up all night long because we're so excited that this is what's happening the next day. The next day we're receiving the Torah. We can't go to sleep. You know, you can't go to sleep if something is so exciting for you. Now, I don't know how many of you actually don't go to sleep. It's not like we really have to do that. But you should have the feeling that you can't sleep because you're so excited that the next day we are going to have this marriage with Hashem. We're getting married tomorrow, right? So it's like, that's what we have to think about, that's the energy. And says Netivot Shalom, you have to also realize that, you know, if we're coming into a wedding tomorrow, right? Let's say the king was getting married. Let's say it was this huge, huge event in your country and the king was getting married. So, and he said basically, the king, that if he's getting married, like when the king is happy, everybody's happy. And he's just going to be giving out presents to whoever comes by. So you would want to run to see the king on the day of his wedding and ask for whatever you can so that you could get something, like you can benefit from this incredible day of happiness of the king. So too, here, Matan Torah is mamash Yom Chatunato. It says in Shir HaShirim that this is Yom Chatunato v'Yom Simchat Libo. This is the day of the giving of the Torah, was the day of Hashem's joy, like Hashem's happiness and Hashem's wedding. So we have so much opportunity on this day to just ask Hashem for whatever we want. And says Netivot Shalom, like how pathetic it is if you just come and to the king on the day of his wedding and you just say, listen, I could really use some new shoes. My shoes are really like worn out and I need some new shoes. You know, everybody's going to laugh. Are you crazy? You could ask for all the riches in the world. So Netivot Shalom says, like, you know, like, what is the most important thing that you could ask for? What's the most important thing, really? If you could ask for anything, if you could get anything, what's your wish? So he says, what is more important than for you to be able to have the clarity and the understanding that this relationship, me and you, Hashem, you and I, this is the only thing that matters. The emunah, like if you could ask Hashem, please give me clarity and emunah and the understanding that the Jewish people had on Matan Torah. What did the Jewish people experience on that day? They experienced a national revelation. They saw Hashem to the extent that they possibly could. They heard Hashem. How could that even be? It's incredible. So if we could ask Hashem, listen, Hashem, could you just give us a little bit of that clarity, or as much clarity as we could possibly handle, preferably without like dying, like the Jewish people had to like kind of like couldn't handle it, and so they were passing out or they were dying, and the malachim had to come and revive them. The angels had to come and like resuscitate them. So if we could just like as much clarity as possible that we could reach on this day, just like the Jewish people had at Matan Torah, that's what we need. That's the bracha of the day. That's the energy of the day. That's what we can ask Hashem for. So, my phone is supposed to have some like glue here and it's just not working. Hold on a second. Yeah, so here it says, this is the way Netivot Shalom says it. He says it beautifully. He said, if you could just, v'kol Yehudi tzarich lehargish limtzo benafsho b'chol mahuto lefi erko, if we could just try and find within our hearts, within our souls, a little bit to each person to the extent that they are able to, Bechinat ata hor'eta lada'at ki Hashem hu ha'elokim. That feeling that we were shown that Hashem is our God. Ein od milvado. There's no one else besides him. It's like the sky was opened up and we were able to see Hashem. Clarity, incredible clarity. The things that we don't understand, like why? Why does another soldier have to die? A beautiful, beautiful young man with a young wife and a baby, 1.5 years old. Why? How can these things happen? This is not possible. Like why? It just doesn't make sense. So if we could just ask Hashem for some clarity to understand what is going on here, that the skies should open, that we should see that Hashem is totally there and totally taking care of us and totally has our best interests in mind and marrying us and loving us. You know, could we just ask Hashem for that? Because what would be better? And let's also ask, V'lizkot lebechinat v'hikravtem mincha chadasha laHashem. And could we ask also Hashem that we could merit to become a mincha chadasha laHashem? This is actually an agricultural holiday where we're celebrating the new wheat, the new crops. And it says an interesting thing, V'hikravtem mincha chadasha laHashem. You should bring a new offering to Hashem. And we understand it to mean, and this is what we talked about once before, that you should bring an offering from the new wheat, which is fine. That's great. So then why doesn't it say an offering from the new wheat? It says bring a new offering. And here Netivat Shalom has always said this before, and he's going to say it again now. We are asking if we could become a new person on this day. V'hikrafta mincha chadasha laHashem means we are bringing a new offering. That means we are trying to become a new person with that extra special emunah, using all of the work that we've been doing this whole entire time of the Sfirat HaOmer, and bring that to Hashem. That is our offering. We are becoming that offering. Ubiyom chatunato, and on this day of the wedding, mevakesh ish Yehudi meHashem yitbarach. We're only asking Hashem for one thing, davar echad, shelo yiyeh ani v'suma. Don't let us be a poor person who is blind, who doesn't see things, who's confused, who is completely in the dark, but rather sheyetzeh mima'asar ha'olam hatzimtzum shehu kalubo. Ask Hashem to take you out of this inner prison that we are all in. We're in an inner prison of distractions, of confusion, of sadness, of madness, of stuff, such crazy stuff. Please, Hashem, take us out of our prison that we made for ourselves. Asher kol davar pa'ut mastir mimeno ba'ado et or ha'elokut. Everything, every little thing that happens, absconds, is that the word? Obstructs our vision and doesn't allow us to see Hashem. It's so pathetic. Why are we so petty? Why do we care about such idiotic things? Hashem is so great. How can we care about little things? And they look big and they seem big, and I'm not judging anybody. But if we could just ask Hashem, listen, just give us clarity. Give us a sense of priority. Give us real emunah. Give us light. Give us an understanding of what is going on here. And allow me to become a new person in a relationship with you, Hashem. That's what we're asking for. And if we ask Hashem to just enable us to have a little bit of that light of this day that's coming down tomorrow night and in 2 days from now on Friday and Shabbat right afterwards, which is just going to be the light and the clarity and the relationship that we have. Lada'at ki Hashem hu ha'elokim. That knowledge that Hashem is our God. Ein od milvado. There's nothing else that's important in this world. Chag Sameach. Have a yummy cheesecake.